I'm about to get copyrighted. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm about to get copyrighted. Yo. Good morning. Today is August 19th. And today's gonna be the live stream for today. I don't even know if I worded that right, but yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Let me just get some music playing for the stream here. Alright. So it is a Monday with no red folder news. I'm not really anticipating too much. We did already complete the weekly objective during the pre-market, or during, I believe it was Asian session. Yeah, we took out previous week's high and previous day high already during the Asian session, and we had SMTs there between ES. So to be honest right now, I don't really have I'm not really anticipating too much from prices here. Like I said, after we took out, previous day or previous week's high, I do want to be just trading intraday models. So that's going to be trading either like session objectives, or maybe hourly objectives, or maybe even 15 to 30 minute objectives. So my higher time frame objective has now been taken. So usually here I would sit on the sidelines. But yeah, the way that I have my, the way I trade my style, I understand how fractal prices can be. We just had a massive, or it wasn't even that massive, actually, never mind. It just shot really fast. But yeah, I'd like to probably just trade the intraday models here, maybe sit on the sidelines, and just watch how we close here on this 4-hour candle. Based on how we close it on this 4-hour candle will tell me if we are bullish or not. But yeah, just as of right now, we do have this 4-hour fair value gap that we are trading above. So if we could get a closure, a candle closure above the 4-hour FEG, then I would like to see higher prices. But yeah, let's just see how in about like 34 minutes the 4-hour will close, and we'll see where we are during that time. Alright, let's take a look at the economic calendar here. We don't have any, like I said, we don't have any red folder news here. So I'm not really anticipating too much volatility coming into today. It is the first day of the week, so but on the higher time frame perspective here, if we can get a bearish candle closure, I would anticipate this daily fair value gap to be the draw of liquidity here. My bad. Whenever I tend to eat, I'm always quiet whenever I'm eating. Just bear with me here. What I am also noticing here right now is we have London lows and Asia's highs still intact. So depending on, like I said, if we get a bearish closure here on the 4-hour and 8-hour, it will tell me if we are going to attack the highs or lows. There's the market open here. I do believe these conditions here today and quite possibly tomorrow will be lower probability. We do have a lot of news here near the end towards the middle and end of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we do have red folder news. So today and tomorrow could be just like consolidation into some sort of manipulation and then move lower. This is one characteristic of the market open on a Monday, especially on a Monday, is there will always, not always, but there tends to be some sort of like misalignment with the market here. So notice how the Dow is spiking up higher while NQ is like dropping. This isn't what you want to be trading. Or these aren't the conditions where you want to be trading in. You want to be trading in conditions where all three of these markets are in sync with one another. Okay, now ES is now starting to catch up and trade higher, but will NQ do the same? I don't know. Only time will tell. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. Should we play a chess game while we wait? Always gonna look like this during the we're gonna be looking like this in the winter, just cozied up. It's gonna be cold, but we're gonna still have to be on the charts. All right, let's play a chess game here. Actually, we're actually selling quite hard on NQ. Selling off quite hard. I actually don't want this to happen, but we'll see. If he goes here, then I have to now I'm gonna have to drop this pawn up. What a strong position from this guy. Selling off here on NQ. Looks like we probably will attack London lows. There's a small SMC here between ES and NQ. So London lows appears to be the draw of liquidity here right now. Should actually threaten this piece here. Yikes. He has a lot of squares. There's a lot of things protecting that singular piece right here. I gotta get my horse up. I actually want that to happen, actually, to be honest. Yeah, I actually want that to happen. To be honest, yeah, that's probably... Now my pawns can actually freely move up here now. Yep. Develop these pieces now. It is actually a pretty strong position. So you see this? This is why we wait for candle closures. Let's see how big these candles are on the 1 minute. People could have been chasing this move here, and it's just not the move that you want to be. Yeah, it's just not good. Always waiting for candle closures. I think I can move here and then I go here. I need a okay. I indeed need the castle though. He probably will, yeah. I don't think that's something that he wants to trade. He comes here, okay. Wait, am I trolling? Oh my gosh, that was actually such a fat blunder. Jeez Louise, that was such a big blunder. Still have about 15 minutes left till the open here, so we're chilling. I'm up a pawn, but he's up like a knight. Now it's Hả? Con có trường, con có online school rồi con đi trường là 6 giờ ngày hôm nay. I think he's just making sure that, I'm pretty sure what he's doing here is making sure his pieces don't go into the black squares, because then my pieces resign. That's 20 push-ups. That is 20 push-ups. Tough, 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 tough. 30-minute. Bye, man. My bad. That was actually a scream. I just screamed into the mic. I might be. Alright, that's 20 push-ups. That was 20 push-ups. Jeez. Alright, I do want to go over some pros and cons here. Is before the 10 o'clock open with you guys. Pros and cons. And improvements here for next week. Alright. So some of the pros and cons that I was able to come up with, or actually not come up with, they were actually present in my trades, were these here. So, pros. Some of the good things that I did last week are I utilized all my knowledge for this trade. So, August 14th. Well, I'll just go over the pros. There's no need to really recap. But yeah, I utilized all my knowledge for this trade. Using fair value gap theory, I was able to formulate a reason why I'm anticipating for prices to not retrace back into the 15-minute fair value gap. There's time frame alignment, power of 3, fair value gap theory, STD. Not sexually transmitted disease, but standard deviation projections. Standard deviations. STD. So yeah, the first pro here is that I was able to utilize all of the aspects in my trading model, and yeah, it just made the trade a higher quality one whenever there's every single aspect that's a part of my trading style. Note slide 801. Okay, let's see what it is. So in a trade like this, where there is a partial right after the power of 3 partial, I should take off majority of my positions when we take out the higher time frame objective. Okay. If I had 20 contracts, I'll take off 5 at the 15-minute low, moves to stops break even. and then take off 10 contracts at the CPI level. Okay. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I was able to use all the confluences, every single aspect of my trading model in that trade. The second pro is by taking off contracts of prices disrespects. When this should say when. Sorry, my bad. I was like, what? Why? It sounds so weird. By taking off contracts when prices disrespects the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap I used as an entry, I am able to mitigate my risk. So whenever I say disrespect, I mean a candle closure above that consequent encroachment on that time frame. So let's say it's a 5-minute fair value gap, right? If we get a 5-minute candle closure above a 5-minute fair value gap, consequent encroachment, then that would for me be considered a disrespect. But if we just wick it, then it's not really disrespect. It's just we're just wicking it. And yeah, I was able to mitigate my risk because I did that very action right there is getting closing some contracts off in the position when we see some sort of disrespect. And I used the new day opening gap as an entry because it aligned with the 2-minute fair value gap that I was already going to use as an entry model or entry pattern. So let's say there's a new day opening gap or new week opening gap, right? That crosses through a fair value gap that you are using as a entry pattern. That fair value gap will have more probability of being used and respected if there's a new day or new week opening gap that crosses through it. It's just something that was taught by ICT and I just carried it on with me. It's a pretty useful tip. So those were some of the good things here from last week. And here are some of the bad things. Or not bad, but some of the things I could improve on. So cons. The trade model itself was an A-tier setup. So the trade setup that I took was an A-tier setup, but there was SMT between NQ and ES that I failed to recognize. This is something that I should consider whenever taking another trade like this. So even though the trade itself was an A-tier setup, right? There was SMTs between the markets where the high that I was targeting on NQ hasn't been taken out yet. However, on ES, we did take it out yet. So there's, it's not necessarily that I shouldn't take the trade at all, but I should consider it and maybe, mitigate some risk or take lower size. Yeah. And the second aspect here is it's a mental con, like something I can improve mentally. So, all right. So instead of trying every way possible to avoid seeing the result of my trade, so whenever I am in the trade, I tend to distract myself or ignore the trade itself and put my focus onto something else, which I know I shouldn't be doing because that's not really. As a trader, you should already be going into the trade setup with the idea that, hey, we could lose this trade. I'm content with the outcome. But according to my risk management and my trade model, I'm just simply executing. So yeah. So even though I have gotten better at handling a loss, I need to work on being actually present and facing the trade head on, without having to cowardly, close the chart or paying more attention to something else during a trade. So that's just something that I could work on mentally wise. And yeah, I need to keep track of all my trades. So every single trade that I take, losing, winning, like quick trade, really long trade, whatever, I need to track that trade because this is how I track my my progress as a trader. So yeah. Some of the improvements here, I basically just took all my cons and I just made a list of things I can improve on. Alright. So, I should pay more attention to SMT, especially when looking for targets. So if NQ has a high that we haven't hit yet, but the high, that relative high on ES has been already taken, so that's just something that I should just pay attention to more of. Second one, following my trade model, be very selective with the trades I take, and whenever I do take an A plus setup, I'm gonna risk a little bit heavier size here, 20% actually. 3, I'm going to continue to use all the skills in my arsenal to formulate a trade model. So for example, if I have to use power of 3, time frame alignment, fair value gap theory. Fair value gap theory is like, understanding if there's a breakaway gap, when a breakaway gap should be treated as a breakaway gap, or when a gap should be treated as a breakaway gap, such as that, and being in alignment with the higher time frame narrative. So if a lower time frame model gives us a entry pattern to target previous day high, that's lower time frame and higher time frame being in confluence with each other. Fourth one is, whenever I am in a trade, I want to practice being more attentive and not cowardly try to ignore the outcome. Face the outcome with confidence, conviction, and being content. So some improvements for next week. And after, I'm going to go over my risk management and my A plus trading model examples here after the 10 o'clock opening bell, because we are about to open in about 2 minutes and 10 seconds here. So let's take a look at what the 4 hour and 8 hour looks like here. So on the 8 hour, it's not very clear. 4 hour, what I am seeing on the 4 hour is we are closing below this 4 hour SIBI. So I do want to just note out the SIBI. So prices could refer back to this 4 hour SIBI here in the upcoming, during the 10 o'clock open, maybe during 10 o'clock hour. But yeah. And notice how on the higher time frame here, if you guys had watched my weekly market outlook, you guys will have known which, what price I'm trying to, or not what price, but what levels here I'm really trying to pay attention to. I really want to see how we react at that daily fair value gap, if we can get a retracement back into it. But if we can't, then that's completely fine. It's just, I want to find a trade model here that presents me when, if I'm going to be longing, I want to be longing below, preferably below the market, the monthly open and the weekly open. So power of 3 concept is, one aspect of the power of 3 concept is you want to be buyers below the opening price and you want to be a seller above the opening price, whether that be the hourly candles, 4 hour candles, and such as, something like that. Here we're about so there you could, excuse me, there's the 10 o'clock open. Alright, so there's the 10 o'clock open, 4 hour open. There's not much I could really, there's not really much I could take here, to be honest. It's not very clear to me. So I would just not take anything in general. Wouldn't take anything here. But yeah, I do want to see how we react here at this 4 hour fair value gap again. IM is still trading higher. I'm not a big fan of that. If we are going to see lower prices here on NQ, we should be seeing you know, the Dow trading lower. Taoism is very free-spirited. It's a very free-spirited. Wow, look at that. We have taken out almost every single low here on the dollar that I wanted to see us take. Previous week's low have been taken. That's crazy. Very, very. Very, very interesting. Lao Tzu. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. The wise man is one who knows what he does not know. I like this one. Not seeking, not expecting. She's present and can welcome all things. I think that really resonates me with, because you don't want to force. You really don't want to force to see things. Like whenever you expect things to happen, and when that thing that you expect doesn't happen, you generally will usually get some sort of sadness or disappointment from it not occurring. August 19th. Is anybody on YouTube? Let's see. I haven't had the chat open, so if there's anybody that's been commenting on the chat, Ripperinos. So I do want to go over the risk management plan here with you guys. Oh. Oh, no one has texted, but there is a view though for only 30 seconds. That's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that view. That's one view. All right, so here today I will be likely to trade normally here, trade micros normally. I'm not de-risking or anything like that, so my very first trade of the day. Oh my god. I keep yawning. My very first trade of the day here, I will be risking $480 if the risk to reward is a 1-to-1, and I'll risk $720 if the risk is a 1.5 or 1 to 1.5 or higher. Second trade of the day, let's say I win my first trade, right, and I make 500. I'll be risking half of my profits. So the second trade, I'll be risking 250 if I won my first trade. But if I lose my first trade, right, then I'll be risking $240 if my risk to reward is a 1-to-1. But if it's a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward or higher, then $320 will be my maximum stop loss. Third trade, if I win my second trade, let's say I make $300 in my second trade, then I'll be risking half of those $300. So 150 will be my maximum stop loss on my third trade. If I lose my second trade, then $120 will be my stop loss if the risk to reward is a 1-to-1. And I'll risk 160 if the risk to reward is a 1 to 1.5 or higher. I cannot take any models that is below a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, so I'm not going to be risking 50 cents, or I'm sorry, $1 to make 50 cents. That's no, it's just not mathing. My risk to reward should be set to where I take my first partial. So where I take my first partial, my risk to reward would be set there, and I'm not gonna set my risk to reward to where I think the terminus is. Terminus is basically how high or how far I think prices could go. What else is here? Whenever I am taking a partial though, I'll take off half of my position size at my first partial, and then I'm gonna move my stops to break even. A original position size, right, for example, of 20 contracts, I take off 10 at the first partial, I'm gonna move my stops to break even. So after that, I'll have 10 contracts left, right? My next take profit will be, I'll take off 5, and I'll keep reducing it half and half until I have no more contracts left. And that's gonna be my risk to reward. Fairly simple. If you guys want to take a look at the numbers, or screenshot the numbers there, that's you guys can do that. But yeah, there's my risk to reward. So I'll keep that up just in case I do enter a trade. And 2 examples of A+ setups. So I actually was planning to do a seminar on Sunday, so which is yesterday, but we didn't have enough people present, so sad to say, but I was not able to do the seminar. I would have just been talking to myself, and there's really no need to do that, so I'll just do it with you guys here. So let's get into it, shall we? My day trading strategy and some of the A+ setups here. So randomly, let's just choose this one. So this setup, I remember this one. So this setup is actually a short, but on the higher time frame objective or perspective, we are bullish. So you can tell here by the 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, and maybe even 10 hour that we're bullish. But because of my knowledge and my understanding of that prices are fractal, I'm able to take a short. Yeah, whenever higher time frame narrative is, overall bullish, you have to understand that any shorts that you take are going to be short term, and you shouldn't be shooting for like freaking previous week's low. If there's no, you have to understand the objective, which is what I'm trying to get at. Is understanding objective is basically all there is to trading. Narrative, understanding where prices wants to go. If you can understand that, then finding the entry pattern is just going to be the harder part. But majority of the work is understanding where prices is going. So like I said, this trade we're bullish on the higher time frame. However, I shorted. Reason being is, so here on the 15-minute time frame, we have traded up into a 15-minute fair value gap, and we have even traded up into a 30-minute fair value gap. And notice how this 30-minute and this 15-minute closes, right? We have closed very bearishly after reacting to a bearish PD array, and even on this 1 hour power of 3, we're bearish on it as well. So there's time frame alignment between the hourly, the 30-minute, and the 15-minute, and there's a reason for us to be trading lower and to have that bearish closure. And that reason being is that we came into a 15-minute / 30-minute fair value gap. On the 3-minute time frame, there is a 3-minute fair value gap that prices retraces back into, and I actually end up taking my entry at the 3-minute fair value gap. So after we take or wick into the 3-minute fair value gap, I take my entry, and then I'm targeting essentially what 15-minute lows, the 15 and 30 and 1 hour low. Excuse my yawning. What I did, what's it called? I took off half my position size at that 15, 30 minute, 1 hour low, and then I set up some standard deviations and then took standard deviation profits there. One thing that you want to note from this trade is that look at how we closed here on the, or look at how we reacted to consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap. That's algorithmic. We touch it, and then I think after this is when we started to get a reversal. But yeah, that's gonna be my very first trade, A+ trade setup here. Like I said, even though we aren't aligned with the higher time frame narrative, I was able to take this trade because of my understanding that prices are fractal. And the second trade here is, I'll go over this one. So daily time frame, or 4 hour time frame at least, we traded into a daily fair value gap, and we had a bearish reaction here on the 15-minute time frame. So we started trading lower away from the daily fair value gap, and after reaching into equilibrium of this range, I wasn't able to partake in any of this move down. So I just waited until we got some sort of retracement, which we end up getting. So after we got a retracement into this 15-minute fair value gap here, we had a bearish 15-minute power of 3. So that bearish 15-minute power of 3 tells me that, hey, we are probably going to continue lower here, and that we had a reaction to it. So now I want to get into a trade. I want to target that 15-minute low and even 30-minute low. So on the 3-minute time frame, we have created a 3-minute fair value gap. Once prices wicks into that 3-minute fair value gap, I take my entry, and then I'm targeting 15-minute lows and that 30-minute low, and then I can have some standard deviations projected to for further targets. And that's essentially it for my trade. Very, very good trade. This trade here highlights how fractal prices could be, because here we're getting a reaction to a daily fair value gap, and here on the 15-minute time frame we get a reaction to a 15-minute fair value gap. Its prices are extremely fractal. And yeah, it looks like we are starting to expand lower here. So we traded into this 4-hour fair value gap, and we started to get some sort of movement away from it. That's really nice. That's nice to see, because I do want to be seeing some sort of clear price action. But like I said, it's a Monday morning. Not much to expect. There's London lows. I do want to see how we close here on this 30-minute and 15-minute candle. So let's pay attention to that. While we do that, we are gonna close in on the 15-minute candle in about 11 minutes. So bear with me, but I'm gonna go outside and get some food. London lows we got very close to London lows, and then we just gotta move instantly away from it. All right. Well, that's nice to see. If you know, we don't get some sort of model here that can target London lows, then I'm not gonna take it. Like here, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take a model here if the 15-minute closed right now. I wouldn't take this straight. It's hot. I wonder if people chase this move. I wonder how many people took this trade here. You know, target London lows. We saw this big displacement move down. London lows seems to be the draw. We retrace back into 1 minute fair value gap, and then we take the short. If we disrespect this 5 minute fair value gap, I would consider taking a long. And what I mean by disrespect is if we can get a 5 minute closure above this fair value gap. That is indeed what I mean by closure above the 5-minute fair value gap. We are closing here on this 2-minute fair value gap here in about a minute. So see how we closed there. So the trade model here could look something like this. Could look something like that. So be 13 contracts. Alright, so I'll take this model here based on the 15-minute. We left London, it looks like we are leaving London lows here intact. And based on this 15-minute candle, I could at least anticipate for us to take out this 15-minute candle's high and pay attention to how we close here on this 30-minute candle as well. Based on the 30-minute candle, like I said, I can anticipate for us to take out the 30-minute candle's high. But yeah, if we take out the 15-minute candle's high, then I would cancel the trade setup, and yeah. And we also got a disrespect. We also disrespected that 5-minute fair value gap. So notice how we closed above this 5-minute fair value gap here. Us closing above that tells me that we're probably going to see higher prices, because we should have treated that fair value gap as a resistance level, but now it's going to turn into an inversion. So I'll actually denote that as an inversion. And yeah, I'll take a long, targeting these equal highs here. Interesting. But yeah, if we can get a retracement back inside that 2-minute fair value gap, then I'll consider, like I said, I'll take that model. But make this at the 45. So if we take out this swing high here, okay, so we just did that. Because we took out that swing high, I would now move my I would cancel the trade in general, because we have already taken out my objective. Once we take out my objective without getting an entry model, that's when I would just close the trade there. And look at that. We took out 30-minute high, 15-minute high, so now I would elect to see us take out these highs here as well. Because ES, we still have room higher, to be honest. We can still take out the high that we created during the Sunday opening. And on ES, we are actually nowhere near it. So I could anticipate some sort of higher time frame SMT here now. But we're simply observers. So very nice. So we open, we take out the 30-minute, 15-minute high, and then we just instantly trade it back inside this range. So my stops would have been already moved to break even here, and yeah, that would have been very in and out trade, very, very quick. Oh man, I'm reminiscing against during on Saturday we had a UFC 305. Oops, we had UFC 305, and it was Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis, and I was actually rooting for Izzy here, and yeah, we watching that fight, it was actually super tough. I really wanted to see Izzy win and take back the title, but we lost, or he lost, and that was just a super tough fight. Gamrot versus Dan Hooker, really cool fight. I don't know, people said that Gamrot could have been able to beat Oliveira and Islam. I actually don't see it in Gamrot. He doesn't look as big as Islam, and his wrestling, I mean, Islam was able to finish Dan Hooker in within 5 minutes. So I can't see Gamrot beating Islam or Oliveira. Oliveira's striking is too clean, and I don't know, if he lost to Dan Hooker in a striking contest, yeah. Kai Kara France, Steve Erceg. I was rooting for Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg is really clean. He's really technical. His boxing is super crisp. And if you guys watched the fight whenever he was fighting Pantoja, he looked really good. He looked extremely good. But Kai Kara France took it home. I think what messed up Steve Erceg was that he was blitzing just like du Plessis, smaller guy, blitzed in. I think he took maybe 1, 2. He was 1, 2, 3, or 2, 1. Wait, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. But yeah, he hit. I think he finished Steve Erceg with a overhand left. He came in, blitzed in, overhand left at the finish of the combo. Bam, took him out. What else did I've watched Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck. This was very one-sided. Rosenstruck outboxed, outstriped Tai Tuivasa. Very, very easy win. And I think a judge actually scored it. scored Tai Tuivasa to win. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. And Li Jingling versus Carlos Prates. He's good. Carlos Prates is really good. Preliminary card. I didn't watch any. Oh, I watched Junior Tafa fight Walter Walker, and Joshua Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. This was a this fight right here was actually tough. Watching Joshua fight, I don't know what this guy was doing, and Junior disrespectful. That's how I would frame it. Junior very disrespectful. He got submitted. He screamed. It was a verbal submission, and came up to Walker and just slapped him. I was like, what? You could have hit him and fought him like during the beginning of the fight, but I don't know. And, wait, who's? No, I think I watched this fight, but I'm not too sure if it was her or not. Luana Santos versus Casey O'Neill. Was it the fight? Was it this fight that? Oh yeah, this was the fight that I watched. She did that Australian thing. But yeah, reminiscing against watching UFC 305, really good fights. Unfortunate that Izzy lost. Was rooting for him too. It's been an hour and 21 minutes. I don't even know what to say. I think I'm just gonna probably call it a day here. Or a stream here, actually. Very, very, as of right now, the price action isn't really clean, I would say. I wouldn't really trade any of this. Yeah, I think that's gonna be probably gonna be all for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and